Hello everybody and welcome back to Cemetary Mary on my channel. Last time on Cemetary Mary we were talking to the man, the myth, the legend, Gerald, or General, or Genanana. I don't remember, I remember his name kind of, but not all the way. And we went to a funeral and we felt some feelings and we had eyes staring at us, and it was creepy as heck. Let's get into the game. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. That's not what I meant to do. Where was I at? I think we were right here sometime. Yep, I think this was the last save that I had. Dotting all the way to the top. Dot, straight to the top. We are dotting. It's been a few days. I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm glad I didn't catch anything too serious. But how sick I felt really got me wondering, especially with that coffin. There was something about it. I had to know more, although it's too late for me to get to it now. But I was overcome with the desire to know what had been making me feel strange about it. Even if I couldn't get to that coffin again, there was still a place I could go. Outside. Oh, to the church. I found myself back at the church. I felt uneasy walking in, but I didn't feel sick anymore. The atmosphere in here was no longer heavy. At least not as heavy as it had been before. I still felt some sense of pressure. But it was nowhere near as bad as it had been. It didn't feel great to walk into a church and immediately feel like something was wrong. God left the place. It wasn't here. He was never with us. I'm sorry. There had to be someone I could talk to in here. I walked through the halls. There was no services today, so there was nobody really. I wandered about the long halls and their tall walls. Something about walking through a building like this, definitely silent. Defendingly, I don't know. And feeling a sense of pressure. Well, it just didn't feel quite right. Eventually, though, I made it to the room with someone in it. Maybe we're like a devil, and we're not supposed to be in churches or something. A priest standing at the far end. Getting closer, I recognized them as being the same one from the funeral service. Maybe they could help me then? I lightly coughed as I approached closer to alert them of my presence. They looked up to speak to me. Excuse me. I actually coughed, and they lightly coughed. Ah, may I help you? Oh, yes, actually. It's hard to explain, but, I don't know, I just need some help. Help is here for... you. What do you need help with? I was here at the funeral service not too long ago, and when I was here, I started feeling not that great. Even now, I don't feel like I think I should, and, well, my life in general hasn't been taking the best of turns lately. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is really stupid, but I guess I'm wondering. If something upstairs is mad at me, if everything happens for a reason, if someone is trying to contact me. Would you be able to know? Now, it's quite alright. Even if you feel confused now, I'm sure the light of your situation will reach you soon. God loves all the children, very much so. And that includes you. So there's no reason to worry. He casts a dark shadow upon me. This might be symbolism for something, but I don't know yet. So there's no reason to worry. Unless, of course, you've done something wrong. What? No, of course not. I mean, I don't think I've done anything wrong. Are you sure? Perhaps you should look over your actions. Sometimes it is easy for us to overlook all we have done wrong. Perhaps that is why God may be treating you in such a way. Really? That's not how it works, buddy. I don't think that's how that works. That's very cultish of you to instill that information there, to remind you of what needs to be done. I see. Maybe there is something I can do better. We can always do better. But do not fret, as I have said. God loves all children, and that includes you. Sometimes love may be tough, but the point will get across in the end. Yes, you are correct. Is there anything more you'd like to ask about? I want to ask about heaven. What about heaven? Do people always go to heaven when they die? Not necessarily, but I'm sure you know that. Right, let me rephrase it. Does everyone go somewhere when they die? Certainly. Alright, I figured this much. I want to ask about angels. Angels? People talk about guardian angels a lot. I have wondered, are they real? Do they help me stray from harmful paths? Does everyone have one? Listen, Mary, I don't want to tell you something, but you're in a video game and I'm your guardian angel, because I am leading you down my path right now, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but technically I am watching over you. Do I have one? You probably shouldn't put your faith in me, by the way. That depends. Do you believe that you do? I want to ask about death. What happens to people when they die? Like exactly, if you know that. What is the process like? Their soul departs from their body and travels someplace new. Where they end up depends on how they lived. Do they know? Know what? When someone dies, do they know that they are dead? Yes. I imagine they would know quite well. I see. I want to ask about... No more questions. That's what I want to ask about. This was the question I was saving for last, because this is the best question to ask. No more questions. Thank you for your assistance, of course. Please do not feel scared. You coming here in itself proves to me that you do not wish to be a bad person. Oh my God, this church is very culty. Very culty. I'm sure God has a plan for you. Do not stress about the outcome. I hope you are not preaching that in your service. That bad things are happening to you because God wants to punish you. I really hope that's not what that is. I hope you're not teaching people that. But it's wrong. I'm probably wrong, I mean. Since you're telling me straight up. I hope she doesn't believe that. Come on. You don't believe this BS, do you? It is in their hands now. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. I exit this church shortly after. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. Well, don't believe him, please. I didn't quite feel like I got the answers I was looking for. Good. Because I don't... Those aren't the answers, I promise. The pressure begins to lift off of my shoulders, once again, once I was out of the doors. But I still couldn't shake the feeling that there being something more to all of this. Something I was missing. I decided to head to the library. Maybe I can look at some books. Not necessarily about religion, but maybe stuff about omens or signs. Because if there really was a sign, I didn't want to miss it. So I made my way to the library as briskly as I could, and started taking out book after book to see what might help me with all this. I was sure that I would be able to at least find something. Even something small is better than nothing. I picked up a few books and sat myself down in a corner to read them. I love educating yourself. That's always the great thing to do in a RPG game. You increase your intelligence, but in a visual novel, I guess that's good too in a visual novel, so you know what's coming to you. I must say though, I couldn't really understand most of it. I tried very hard not to. But lots of it just didn't make sense to me. Still though, I didn't want to leave without finding something out. Seriously, one of those books had to help me. Read passage luck, lead passage. Let's do omens. An omen foretells the future in a way. It precedes events of a good or horrible nature. The omen itself may even seem like a good or terrible thing that is to occur. Perhaps the most cruel part of the bad omen is that it can lead to something even more horrible. There may be multiple instances of bad omens leading up to a terrible event. Are you talking about all the decisions that I've made throughout this whole entire game? Is that what you're telling me, Mr. Omen Passage? Because I don't appreciate where this is going. Be aware of the omens in your life. Protect yourself. You may not be able to stop whatever is coming, but you can always prepare yourself for it. Well, that's some good advice at least. Should I be preparing? I don't know what I would prepare for, but in the words of Scar from Lion King, be prepared! So I think you should take that guy's advice, honestly. Or how I would even start. I hope all the weird stuff that's happened isn't any kind of omen. Oh, I can read all of these? Cool. Read luck. Luck is a tricky thing. What does it mean when you say someone is lucky? Everyone always assumes it means good luck. But can't it mean bad luck too? Everyone always assumes that unlucky means you have had bad luck. But maybe unlucky just means you have no luck. Perhaps it is better if you are someone who is unlucky. Maybe no luck is better than having any luck at all. So, in the nicest way, I hope your luck runs out. I mean, that sounds pretty sinister, reading it from my perspective. Let's do curses. Why not? A curse is a terrible thing. Wow, how informative. Its purpose is always to inflict harm. Many people who are under curses are probably not even aware of the fact that they are. Perhaps they just think they are struck with some bad luck. Bad luck, here's the luck again. Thankfully, there are ways to reverse a curse. But you may have to try many times in many ways before it is broken. When it is, you may not be sure anything has happened at all. But it's always better to live without a curse. The book proceeds to list different types of curses and possible solutions for them. I don't think I have a curse. Someone had to inflict a curse on you for it to even work, right? I don't think I know anyone who would want to do that. I hope no one would want to do that. Alright, wishes. What is it that you wish? Is it a desire? Perhaps it is even a need. People wish for many things. Every day, all the time. Whether it is out of want or out of necessity. Do you truly believe a wish can come true no matter how nonsensical it is? They say there are many ways for a wish to come true. Many wish on a shooting stars, or the first star that they see come nightfall. Many wish upon dandelions. Why did I not know this word? Or by blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. But make no mistake, a wish is best burned. Burned? Oh, this is the first reaction I've saw Except, unless there were other reactions that I didn't see. This is the first one. A burned wish is bound to come true. At the very least, it has the closest chance. The next time you must wish, try burning it. The results may not be what you imagined, but they are almost sure to come true. A burned wish. The magna that had the weird writing in it. All this started happening after I burned that book. Maybe whoever left that there left stuff in the other books. I put the book down and rushed quietly to the magna shelf. A burned wish comes true. I wonder. Oh, that's interesting, actually. I'm glad that this stuff is all starting to connect, because I was wondering where the development of this story was coming in. But we have to wait. Sometimes I forget that I have to wait a little bit for everything to just draw together into one big thing. I have problems with that sometimes. Was it someone's wish that I burned? Or maybe I set off a curse in its place. If I burned it, did that wish count for me too? I eventually made it to the shelf I was looking for. Mostly all of the set was here. Maybe whoever wrote in that book wrote more in the rest. I took out a book and hurriedly skimmed through the pages. I didn't even care about the spoilers I might get by doing so. When the book had nothing in it, I tried another, then another, and then one of the books fell off the shelf. It surprised me just a bit, and sounded especially loud in the quiet library. As I went to squat down and pick it up, I noticed it had opened itself. Oh, there's a cemetery picture. On the page, it was a cemetery of all things. But even stranger, there was a slip of paper that had found its way into the book as well. Was this left by the same person who left such a mess in the other book? I picked it up and began to read the note that was left. People are never gone forever. I promise you this statement is true. There is no such thing as a departed soul, not anymore. I will not regret this decision, but I must live knowing the truth of it. Not because no one will listen, but because it will leave me lonely for a long, long time. That's okay. It doesn't really feel lonely, even when it does. In fact, it's kind of fun. I wonder how much I will be able to see before it is over. That is, if you ever intend for this to have an ending to begin with. It makes me wonder how many variations I will see. Say, if you're reading this, and I know you are, why don't you tell me? I'd love to hear your side. Are you talking to me, personally? The note ended there. I'm not entirely sure what it means. Is this another game where it's like, oh, I can see you on the other side of the screen. You are definitely there. I'm talking to you, player, to you. I couldn't really understand any of it. I'm sure I was missing a whole story behind it, but whoever wrote it, I hope you know that, I'm listening. And I hope you won't be lonely for long. What if I'm the one leaving the notes? What if I am the one who is texting her at night? I don't remember doing this, but it might be me. It might have been me all along. Hold on, let me check my phone real quick. No, I don't have any random texts, but you never know. I could be deleting them whenever I'm out of this trance that I'm in that makes me send random messages to her. Because nobody should ever have to be lonely. I left the library after that. I've been playing this game for years, and I've always been lonely. I'm always lonely. That's all I am. I hope I'm reading this right, because I might not be. It couldn't be a coincidence that the magnet just happened to open to a page with a cemetery on it, fell out of the shelf in front of you while you were looking for the books, and, just stuff like that. So I decided I would check there for anything new or suspicious, any kind of sign. I spent a while there, going around down the rows, inspecting each grave for something new, something different, a letter that changed, or a color that shifted, anything. And then I happened upon it. In the way back of the cemetery, right before the iron fence, there was the cemetery ends, and the forest begins. There was a new grave here, a grave I had never seen before, and I would know, because I've seen them all. It had a strange writing on it, unlike any language I've ever seen before. Was it a code? But why would someone have coding on their grave? Can you take a picture of it, please? Use your phone and use your brain. There was something weird about it, and the closer I got to it, to inspect it, I began to feel nauseous. It was just like at the church, at the funeral. It made me feel dizzy, just a little bit. It was as if a strange pressure was emanating from it. That was still the best word I could use to describe it. Just pressure. I really didn't want to get sick again. But this headstone, it was so curious. It had to be related to the rest of all of this. I mean, the eye is right there. He's watching you at all times. Don't you see the symbolism here? It had to be. I wanted to inspect it more, but by that point, I had been out all day. I knew the cemetery would be closing soon, and I couldn't stay up for long. Not to mention I was very tired. I had been running around all day, and it was finally starting to catch up to me. This weird headstone starting to make me dizzy again didn't help any either. I decided that I would head home and try to make sense of it all tomorrow. After all, it's not like a grave would be going anywhere. That's what you think. That's why I said take a freaking picture of it, okay? So I packed up and headed home. It would probably do me good to get some rest. My head was spinning with so many strange concepts after all. I followed my usual routine, the one I always followed when I get home, and well, you already know what comes next. Who are you talking to, by the way, Mary? You keep saying you a lot. You talking to me over here? Do you know you're being controlled? Is the other person talking to me? I don't know sometimes. It's fun to figure this out, though, kind of. I know I usually try to ask you things, but I had a long day, so I'll probably go to bed soon. Besides, it isn't like you'll just suddenly decide to open up about anything, right? I'm afraid not. Heh, that's what I figured. If I could ask anyways, just really quickly, yes? They're still okay, right? Yes. Your parents are still okay. Would you tell me if they weren't? Good night, Mary. That's not a yes or no. I asked a yes or no question. You said good night, not yes or no. That's not how you answer questions, Mr. Stranger Man. Don't do that to me. Left me on red. I swear, some people. Some stalkers. I can't believe the nerve. The following morning I had been digging through their fireplace. I had hoped that maybe, well, the magnet I burned by accident could help provide me with more insight. Even if it was set on fire, there was still a chance there'd be at least some salvageable old parts, right? Please, just something. I'll take anything. It's worthless. It's all burned up. Even when I tried to pick up the tiny scrap that could be something, it just turns to ash in my hands. Guess I won't be getting any more use from that book. Did you pay the library for their book that you burned yet? Just then, Crovin stepped in. He was about to walk past me before I called out to him. Crovin. Yeah? Where are you going? I'm going out. That isn't exactly an answer. Heh. Is it? Is it important again? Yeah. Who wants to know? Sorry, I just wanted to ask if you might help me with this. Since you're going out anyways, maybe when I get home. This is something I have to do by myself. When will you be home? Later. My relationship's very strained with him, I feel like. Corbin walked out the door shortly after that. He still didn't tell me where he was going. I was about to leave the house myself, but if I go out now, it might look like I was following him again or something. I didn't want to upset him. I figured I'd just stay here and play with the sit a while. But then, my phone went off. I checked the notification. It was a message from Reginald. That's his name. It's not Reginald. It's Reginald. Talk about perfect timing. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cocoa shells and pretty maids all in a row. Isn't that song about, like, a queen that used to kill people with all these devices in her garden? But not in her garden. I just said that because it's about a garden. I don't know. Odd. That does not look as cool as it did in my head. My sincerest apologies. I'm sorry I wanted to ask. Are you not here today? Huh? Am I not where? The cemetery, of course. It is a bit cloudy today, but I figured you might want to be here before any rain started. Oh, you're there right now? Indeed I am. No real reason for it. I was just passing by. Thought I might see you if I stopped in. Though I suppose not today. That's okay. Well, actually, I was going to head into town pretty soon and visit the cemetery myself. I just wanted to check on some things there, that's all. There's been a lot of stuff happening and I'm trying to organize. Oh, I'll just wait for you here then. What? Don't be silly. Even if I leave right now, it'll still be a while before I can actually make it there. I don't mind waiting. I mean, are you sure? Don't you have something better to do? Oh, that sounds really rude over text. I'm sorry. Haha, no worries. I think I'll still be here a while. Maybe I'll be here when you come on down. I guess we'll see. Well, alright then. I'll leave in a few. Guess maybe see you there. I guess you maybe will. Let's go down to the cemetery, boys. I'd rather be with somebody when I'm investigating this than by myself. I tidied myself up and made sure I had everything, and then walked out to the cabin, waiting for the next bus into town. I wondered on the way there if Reginald really would still be waiting for me once I made it. I mean, I suppose I had no reason to doubt it. I just don't understand why he would want to wait for me. Surely there are better ways he could be spending his time, especially if he's got the day off today. But maybe. If he is free, maybe he'd be willing to help me figure this out. The bus skidded to a stop at his usual station. I hopped off and walked into the direction of the cemetery. And before I knew it, I was walking past the familiar metal bars that led up to the cemetery gates. And as I looked past them into the cemetery, I noticed a familiar man with his long caramel hair coming out to greet me. Yo, what's up, my dude? How's it going? Reginana. How you doing? Whoa. You're actually still here, and we got some music in the background. Whoosh. I like that. Indeed I am. I told you I would wait for you, didn't I? I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I just am a bit surprised you're actually still here. I mean, I know I find the cemetery exciting, but I don't think many others share that same sentiment. Come on, Mary, he's a freaking coffin maker. He's probably thinking about all the coffins and dead bodies he put in the ground. Have you ever thought of that, Mary? No, you haven't. That's why I'm here for you, Mary. I'm here to think for you about these things. I swear, Mary, you gotta think. Weren't you bored out here by yourself? Not at all. In fact, I think I've grown ever fonder of it. Really. If I'm being completely honest, well, I think I've even been visiting it more because of you. Huh. It's hard to explain, but even when you're not here, it still feels like you are in a way. Like all the care you put into it, it really shows. Don't take that the wrong way. Even if the cemetery always gave off your vibe, I think I would much prefer the real deal, haha. I simply like being reminded of you here. You like the cemetery because it reminds you of me? Indeedly so. I hope that isn't a strange thing to say. No, it's really nice, actually. I've never heard anyone say, "Whoa!" something like that before. Mary! I heard a familiar voice shout my name. They did not sound happy. I turned to be greeted by, is it Croven? Oh! Twyla. I hadn't heard from her in a while. Yet despite this, she, looked like she was fuming. Is this the reason you freaking ignored me? Ignored you? I sent you at least 4 messages this past week asking you to help me, including this morning. Not one response back. Did you? I'm really sorry, my phone must have glitched or something. Can it? As if I've heard that excuse before. I wasn't sure what to say. I didn't know what was going on. You know what, Mary? Frick off! Here, I thought you actually wanted to help me. But I guess I shouldn't expect to rely on anyone in this piece of shit city. Huh? What are you talking about? Shut up. Stop playing dumb. I'm not playing. I really don't know what you're talking about. I never got anything, I promise. Yeah, and I'm sure you never check your messages either, huh? How freaking stupid do you think I am? If you're going to blow off helping people just to play around with some boy toy, then at least be honest about it. Reginald's not a boy toy. What? Despite how I may appear, I'm not a mean person, Mary. But if there's one thing I hate more than anything else, it's being disrespected. God, I just really, really hate flimsy, airheaded idiots like you. Here's hoping your precious little cemetery grows enough to fill the space in the empty head of yours. Bruh, I ran off after that. I didn't know what else to do. Reginald called out after me, but I just kept running. I didn't want him to see me like this. Dang, that happened real quick. I was so embarrassed. I wasn't even sure where I was going. Just anywhere away from here. I couldn't stand there a second longer, but I run into it until it seemed like it was far enough away. Eventually I turned into a small alley, tucked myself into a trash can. I went into a trash can? Oh, behind. I need to read it all first before I assume I just insert myself into trash cans for fun. I took myself behind the trash can so that no one could see me. And I just kept crying there. The things Twyla said. I never even got any messages from her. I had no idea what she was talking about. But she wouldn't listen. Maybe it is my fault. I told her I would help her, and yet I never even reached out to her. Maybe she's right. What have I been doing this whole time? I started getting so wrapped up in other stuff that There's some weird writing behind you, Mary. And there's an eye. An Illuminati eye right here. What the heck? What the heck? Hold on, I feel like I'm supposed to come here. What the heck? Oh my god. Before I could think about much longer, I heard my phone going off. Reginald is calling. I didn't pick up. The second it stopped ringing, I received a text message from him. Are you alright? Where did you run off to? It doesn't matter. I don't really want to talk about it. Please drop it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to push him off. Why is that? By telling you I'd be talking about it, Haha, fair point. But still, it is my fault that she got mad at you. No. It's not about you. It was my fault. It doesn't seem to be that way. From the way she was talking, it sounded like I was an issue too. Please don't worry about it. I am worried. Regardless of what the situation was, I don't see any good reason for Twyla to yell at you like that. You know, Twyla? She is right to be angry at me. I promised to help her, but I didn't do a very good job. I didn't do anything at all. We all make mistakes sometimes. I know that quite well myself. And as someone who has dealt with a lot of broken promises, I still don't think it's warranted such a harsh reaction. I think it did. Now, that's no way to talk about yourself. I don't know any other way to talk. Regardless of how you feel, I'm telling you it was an unwarranted reaction. Please listen to me. If you say so, I do. Text kinda slowed to a halt, but then before I knew it, a droplet hit my head. Then another. And another? It had started to rain. Well, I guess I wasn't staying here anymore. That's well enough. At this point, I really wanted to go home. So I did. And hoped I wouldn't have to remember that day tomorrow. You haven't left yet, right? Hello? Are you there? I'm here. Sorry. You responded a bit late. Caught in the rain. Ha! No. Not close enough for that. We always talk about me. How was your day? Couldn't have been better. In that case, you should sleep. It's the fastest way to have the day finally be over. I guess so. Good night, Mary. Oh man, I feel feelings. I woke up feeling a lot better than the next morning. The things Twyla said to me still itched at me, but I tried not to think about too much. There was only so much I could be doing, right? I just tried to not think about anything right now. I just wanted to enjoy my breakfast first, checking my phone and thinking about what I'd do that day. I never got the chance to try and expect the grave the other day like I planned. Maybe I thought that, I received a text message. It was Reginald again. Good morning, Mary. I hope you're feeling better today. Yeah, I guess a little. Well, that's good to hear then. Say, I'm not busy today either. If you got those errands you need to do, I can help today. I don't know. Are you sure it's alright? Why wouldn't it be? I don't have anything better to be doing anyways. What about your job? Haha, don't worry about that. I know how to manage my time. Alright. I'm just finishing breakfast, but I guess you can. Meet me at the cemetery again if you really want to. Sounds good. I'll see you there. I want him to be there. I really, really do. I feel unsafe. I made plans to meet with Reginald at the cemetery. Again. I didn't feel all that confident as I left, but, well, whatever. Whatever. It's not like what's going to happen yesterday will happen all over again, right? So I went. And I'd say I was having deja vu, but I did experience this scene before. There you are. Yep, here we are again. Are you alright? You seem nervous. Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Besides, once we start looking around, I'll be too focused to worry. Hey, speaking of, do you know, other languages? Haha, why do you ask? Follow me, I'll show you. It's what I've been busy with. I hope you still have the note and that you brought it with you in case that gravestone is gone. But the fact that you said, oh, gravestones can't move, tells me the gravestone might have moved. I led Reginald through the cemetery, winding my way back to where I found the mysterious grave. I brought him over to that tree, to that area, right near the edge of the fence, but... Huh? Oh, it's destroyed. So we can still prove its existence, but it's destroyed. You should have took a picture like I said, but you didn't 'cause you're stupid and I am not happy with you. Oh dear me. How upsetting. What happened? I don't understand. Perhaps it was lightning. We didn't have the storm the other night. We did have a storm that can't be. I never heard any thunder or anything like that. Mary. I ducked to the side of the grave. It couldn't really be broken. It couldn't. Oh, you poor soul. I'll fix this for you. Somehow. I didn't even know their name. You didn't know his name? I thought you knew the names of everyone in this place. I do. It's just this headstone. The language it was in, I couldn't understand it. And I think whoever it was might have been trying to tell me something. Mary, I'm sorry, but, well, it's just... That seems a little silly, doesn't it? Especially if they had to die before they could send that message to you. But it wasn't just this. There's more to it. There was also... Come with me. Mary. I grabbed Reginald's hand and began to hurry to the library. I felt as if I couldn't run fast enough, especially with how he kept trying to slow me down. What's this all about? I'll explain more once we get there. Tell me you brought the note with you. He kept following me, and I kept leading. I had to show him what I was talking about so he could understand how big of a problem this was. Why didn't you check out the book? You should have checked out the damn book, Mary. Jesus. We entered the library and I quickly but quietly guided him over to the Magnus section, but... Mary, is everything quite alright? What did you want to show me over here? Stupid, stupid, stupid! Yeah, I know you are, Mary. Why am I always such an idiot? Reginald began to coyly look at his phone while I berate myself in front of the empty shelf. How could I have been so careless? I should have checked out all the books for safekeeping. I should have taken pictures of everything. Mary. Idiot. And now every one of them was gone. They could be in the garbage truck or being shipped somewhere else. Somewhere far, far away right now, for all I know. Stupid, stupid, so stupid of me. Mary, huh? I've got to go. Huh? You're leaving? I thought you were going to help me today. Yes, but, well, there's something I have to attend to. Huh? But you said you weren't going to be busy today, right? I know, but... Something came up and, well... Are you alright? Why are you looking at me like that? Looking at you like what? Like you think I'm weird. What? You know I don't think that. You think I'm crazy. You think I'm just a creepy ghost girl, right? The ghost girl in the cemetery who talks to herself because she's crazy. That's what you're thinking, right? Mary, I promise. No, it's fine. I also have somewhere to be. I've got to go. Mary, please don't do this again. I promise I'm not. I was at the door before he could finish. Dang it, Mary, you're paranoia. Paranoia right there. We're gonna get kidnapped and killed now. This is a bad ending. This is a bad ending. This is a bad ending. Though I was sure I wouldn't have been long before a librarian shushed him anyways. I skipped all the silly stuff this time. No alleys, no losing track of where I'd been. I just hopped on the first bus back home. I heard my phone buzz all along the way back, but I didn't look at it. I couldn't. I knew Reginald was going to try to be nice about things, because that's just the way he is, but I just couldn't look right now. I didn't want to look anymore. I didn't want to be around anyone. Too bad I was stuck with myself. I filled the rest of my day with distractions, allowing it to just pass me by. I didn't want to think about it. I'll dust until my arms hurt, and I'll prepare dinner hours in advance, because my mind was preoccupied. I wouldn't have to listen to myself think. So I filled up the rest of the hours with any distractions I could find. And then, one last distraction before bed. Why me? I'm having trouble understanding what you mean. Why do you choose to come after me? Why do all these bad things happen to me? What's happened? Is that really a question right now? Oh, what happened today then? A lot. Everything just keeps falling apart. Why am I even trying? Don't worry. That's all going to change soon, I promise. Good night, Mary. That's not... From Creepy Stalker Dude, that's not really reassuring. Anything from Creepy Stalker Dude is not reassuring. I'll just tell you that right now. And with that, I'm going to save it. Because it's time. I'm going to save it in my 3 saves per save fashion. Because it is time for me to get out of here. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I know I have been. This story is still very interesting. I really want to know what's going on. I'm really sad that I'm pretty sure Reginald just really did have something come up, maybe, and he's probably gonna go do that. He seems like a wholesome guy. I feel like he wouldn't leave Mary on purpose. Probably something else just came up, you know. And we probably just made him feel a lot worse by running out of there and being paranoid and stuff. But I know we're having a mental breakdown right now. Or someone's trying to make me look crazy at least. At least that's something that's probably happening. You know, I'm pretty sure maybe the good ending is probably trying to interact with everybody involved. Like Crovin and Tesla and Reginald, and just going between all 3 of them somehow. But I don't know. I have no idea. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. And don't hold up. I mean, hold up. I mean something. Goodbye.